Welcome to the Chronicles from the Co-Founders Couch.
A segment on the AI Universal podcast where we get real.
No polish, no performance. I'm Tremain.
And I'm Tanisha. This is Chronicles. Let's hop on the couch and get into it.
Hey, Tanisha.
How are you doing?
I am good. Back on the Co-Founders Couch for Co-Founder Chronicles. Lots to talk about.
Indeed. Yes, we have been talking about doing this segment for a minute now, and so we're here.
We are here.
I don't know. Where should we start? Do you want to maybe jump into what exactly the Chronicles are supposed to be and what brought us here?
Yeah, we can jump into it. I think the people need to know what we're thinking about.
I think so.
All right. So for me, and I want to know what the Chronicles means to you.
Okay.
So not just what the people want to know. What does it mean to you first? All right. So for me, this Chronicle is everything. And I say everything because, like we say in our intro, this is stuff that is not generally talked about publicly. And I think the wins, I think the losses, I think that is generally what helps people when you can put those two things together. Because now we're not just talking about all of the high points, we're talking about the low points too, and where those things meet in the middle. So that's what the Chronicle means to me.
Okay. That makes sense. So what does the Chronicles mean to me? I think it's really an opportunity for us to get under the hood, if we're going to go with the car metaphor,
There you go.
and talk about the real decisions, thought process, strategy, all of it that we're, literally living every day as we build this company, AI Universal, and having an opportunity to do that with a whole different lens to bring to it in terms of company building. And I think, we talk regularly with other founders who are building AI companies, and even folks who have legacy companies, are talking about what does it mean to be building an AI native, depending, or an intelligent company. And I think this is our opportunity to share what that really means and some of the real thought processes that we're having to go through and think through as we build that, A+ company that we're after with the help of AI.
Yeah, and I'll add to both of what we just said to say that we're not just building an AI company. We're going for unicorn status here.
We are.
So that is a much different build when you think about the long term and some of the incremental decisions you have to make to get there. This is not a lifestyle business. This isn't a business that is going to, be, cash flowing. Eventually PE picks it up. Like we're really going for we're swinging for the fences on this one. And so how do you build that type of company as an AI native company, which I think even puts a slightly even more specific, lens on how you build.
Definitely, because now you're talking about going for big scale.
Yes.
So before we hop in, though, I'm sure the people would like to know a little bit about each of us and what brought us here.
Yeah.
So why don't you start? Like, what's a little bit about you, your path, some context for the folks to understand. Who is this man who's trying to co-build an AI company? Is he an entrepreneur? Is he all new to this game? Let the people know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell a little bit about my background. You're gonna tell yours, but I think what they're really gonna be excited about is how we got together. That's the real gem here, folks. So hang on to your hats. All right, this is the boring part we're about to tell you now, which is our personal background, how we got together. That's where the fireworks start. So anyway, I am an entrepreneur, a career entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur my whole adult life. So this company is actually my 8th startup, serial entrepreneur. So I am a tech founder. I am non-technical though. So I think that is a really interesting lens on going into an AI native company because I do understand the technology, but historically over the last 26 years now, I haven't been able to build it with my hands. So I have a lot of business expertise, which I think is, I don't know. I think that's interesting to bring to the tech space because I understand the people side of it and I like the people side of it. I understand sales, marketing, all of those types of things. But I understand the scale you can achieve with technology. And so now converging all into one space and time is 26 years of experience from the business side, building tech companies, but now fortunate enough to be on the front end of the AI revolution. And so I've built during the .com I've built doing the social media takeover. I've built doing the smartphone takeover when we transitioned from Blackberries to iPhones. I've built doing so I've seen the technological advances over the last 26 years, and I think this one is going to be even more interesting. And all of those probably combined. So very excited.
Okay,
All
so
right, on
you
to you.
lived through a lot of these tech eras. Okay, all
I
right.
have. I've seen it. This is going to be insane. Like I'm telling you, this is where we are today. Next 5 years is going to be insane. It's going to dwarf what I've seen over the last 25 years, and I really believe that.
I think you're totally right. So, okay, my background. I
Listen, we only have 20, 30 minutes on these episodes, T, where you talk about your background, because that's an hour by itself. Just saying.
You know what? I think I can keep it tight. Have a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Basically, I will say that, I mean, I'm a lawyer by training, definitely not an entrepreneur and did not see myself being an entrepreneur. But I am also, I would say, an operator in that I think in terms of systems, processes, and execution, and can also, get a little bit of that like visionary bug every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I think being trained as a lawyer, especially because I was a transactional lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
corporate, I've been hanging around tech companies for a few years now.
Yep.
I learned
Yep.
a few
Yep.
things too. We're 50.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, decided to hop on out of big law a few years ago and get into more the tech venture space directly after representing a bunch of venture backed companies and watching how they got built. And, just was open to different opportunities. Entrepreneurship, when it presented itself, I was definitely reluctant, I will admit. But there's something about it that actually really does appeal to me. I've learned, honestly, from building with you at times that I really love building. And even kind of same as you, I'm non-technical, but still used to grasping very technical concepts,
Mm-hmm.
and bringing in some of my other kind of, personal things that I like design and
Yeah.
visual and all of
Yeah.
that, which comes in really handy when you're
Yes.
co-building.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I've been, I, work for a few different companies. All of them are kind of in the tech, venture, startup, private equity space.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this opportunity came along. And so, as we'll talk about, we were already working on some other things, but this one seemed like a pretty organic and obvious pivot.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
opportunity and
So
things that we should get into.
all right, so we gotta take 2 minutes to tell the people. So I guess this would be going on 2 years now. We meet, and I'll tell my version of your reaction, so you could correct me. So we meet, and Tanisha, she says she has the algorithm running in the background. She'll say that at a certain
Mhm.
point. But what this means is that she's always processing all these small bits of data at 1,000 bits per minute, in the background, and you just don't know it. And so, I have a very interesting skill set, because I am very good at sales. I'm very persuasive. I know how to do what I do when I do it. And I'm great on the stage. I'm great at selling people, influencing people, convincing people to do things and sign stuff. And, that's just part of, a skill set that you need to build companies.
Mhm.
Because if you don't have that skill set, either you're going to do it yourself as a founder, or you need a co-founder or somebody in the leadership team who can do that. Just so happens I have that skill set. And so while I just mentioned I'm non-technical, that is something that I do have a really strong capability for. So when I first met Tanisha, this is where her spidey sense starts going off, that, wait a minute, is this guy selling wolf tickets here? Is he trying to sell me on stuff? Is he, because I was just in the middle of starting to build this nonprofit, just in the middle of starting to think about building new product, these types of stuff. I was at the front end of, launching new ventures when I meet Tanisha. And, I think that, and I would love to hear your reaction. I think that she was intrigued, but very, very skeptical that that I
Absolutely.
was legit. Let me just put it that way. So I would love to hear. This is what I told y'all. This is the best part of the story. Forget the backgrounds.
Yeah, skeptical is accurate. No, I mean, you were a lovely person, but I was just like, we were speaking on a panel together. And yeah, I definitely was just like, okay, what is this guy about? What is he up to? I've met a lot of entrepreneurs in my time, and I'm not gonna say a lot of them are snake oil salesmen, but
A lot of them are. Let's
they
just
have
be honest.
perfected the art of storytelling.
Yes, they
And
have
so when I
perfected the art
start
of
to hear
storytelling.
some things that sound like some of those stories I've heard, I definitely turn up the skepticism as to be like, okay, here's
Yeah,
another tech bro.
yeah,
And so yeah, like I definitely was skeptical. And then we continue conversations, which I think is, in all of the businesses, we joke and say, because it's always partnerships to be made, whether it's with other companies, whatever, you got to
sure,
date before you get married.
sure.
That's how I think about it. I'm like, we need to get to know each other first before we decide to get into business together. And I know we have both had
Yeah,
situations where that vetting process either saved us or,
yeah,
or might have sunk us, depending, because
absolutely.
who you're going into business with is important. But yeah, I think it was just as we got to know each other and I got to really understand your passion and your vision and your skill set, and as working together, I think we slowly learned what are the ways in which we complement each other. I think one of the things that I always really value you putting words to in one conversation we had was just like, what is it that I do and what is it that you do and why is it that it works so well together? And to me, it is the biggest best compliment you paid was that you're like, I don't have to make the vision smaller for you to understand it. And I agree. I pride myself on that. Like I'm a visionary too, and I love people who think and dream big. I think and dream big. But then I just have that extra layer of like, I don't just see your vision, I know how to make your vision
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
almost in like a step-by-step process.
yep,
It's really wild what my brain does. But
yep.
yeah, and so I think we've just started to really perfect that over time. I guess technically now 2 businesses, right?
Yep, yep.
And so, yeah, as we were working on the nonprofit, this opportunity to just really lean in on the AI stuff just seemed so obvious and
Yeah.
truly organic, I feel.
Yep. 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 Absolutely. All right. So that's the background on the co-founders that are going to be in the Chronicle, guys.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a lot that we're going to be talking about throughout this series. I'm really excited about it. I think that our expertise together is really magical, and I think we've identified something that, and we talk about this all the time. We'll be able to flesh it out in other episodes. It's just you don't really find the skill sets that we both have on a founding leadership team often. And because we've been able to put them together at a founding leadership level, I think we're really positioned to do something at scale and at a level of success that most startups can't look at this early. Generally, if they're going for unicorn status, they're kind of stumbling into it. They've got something, they build it. Oh, wait a minute, we got some success. Oh, wait a minute, I think we can get there. Oh, wait a minute, maybe we can do a seed round. Maybe we can do they kind of follow on into the whole idea of being a unicorn. But I think from day one, because of the skill sets that we have, because of the vision, because of the execution, because of the strategy that we can put together, because of the team we know we can acquire, because of the capital we know we can raise, I really think that from day one, we can both confidently say, hey, we're building a unicorn here. And that's something, again, that most startups just can't do out of the gate.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we definitely are in a unique moment, and we're here to meet the moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Folks who probably listen to the podcast regularly probably have a little bit of a sense as to what AI Universal is, but maybe be helpful just to anchor some of the newer listeners in what it is that we're building. So I guess I would say that, we are building a very mission driven, very human centric artificial intelligence and innovation company that focuses on, really supporting individuals, corporate leaders, social impact organizations, and that ecosystem in general. And we really want to create ways and tools, even because we have SaaS products we're working on, to allow people to really harness the power of AI and to
Mhm.
use that to maximize what they can accomplish on a human level and what they can do in terms of building, an intelligent or truly, remarkable organization. So that's kind of what we're living day in, day out. It's, we do workshops, we do trainings, but we also are literally building tools for certain
Yeah.
systems that are, structured and basically like moved forward by AI and that harness capabilities of AI. And so I think that's pretty neat. And because of that, it's allowing us to reimagine how we want to go about building a company as entrepreneurs. So, I'm curious for you, Tremaine, like you've been a serial entrepreneur. I doubt, given the timeline of a lot of those companies, because I heard some real past eras, the dot com. I was like, oh, goodness, we've been building a long time. Um, what does it now mean then that we're building an AI native and an intelligent company? Like, what do we mean when we use those terms? Because we use those
Yeah.
a lot, but I think different people kind of have some different notions about it. So maybe we should talk about like what our definition of that is.
Yeah. So AI native, just because I've seen it so many times throughout the technological advances throughout the years, AI native means that we literally are using an AI first mindset, which means that everything that we do is broken down into smaller tasks. There's no longer marketing, sales, these bigger ideas. Every big idea is now broken down into smaller, more bite-sized things. And then we match what AI can do. That's an AI native company because now it's not marketing. It's, these 10 things make up marketing and 7 of them can be done by an AI agent. And so now we're using our skill sets from a leadership team and a team standpoint to solve for the other 3 at a higher level. And so that's what AI native really means. And, for me, I think that's what we're building. And, and I wouldn't add anything to what you said. I think that's a great way for us to bookend this particular episode because we are AI Universal building an AI native company that aligns with everything that you just said. So I think this is amazing.
Yeah, and I think I think that's exactly right. And I think what people will end up hearing a lot about, excuse me, is how we think in terms of workflows and people flows. Like
Yep.
for instance, I've
Yep.
been thinking about our org chart, and I'm like, it's not really your traditional org chart because, we've talked about the model where we've got, team members who are really basically like managing or kind of the maestros of AI agents. Those are the other employees they're going to be managing.
Mhm.
We try to compare it to kind of legacy corporate speak. But then even kind of where we fit into the workflow is different, and like how my role, particularly as COO, is, feeds into everything that we do and how we think about building, scaling, paying people, time worked. There's going to be so many places that we're going to be able to go in this conversation, which I think will be really useful for others to hear kind of how we're actually thinking through some of these questions and challenges that you usually think through when you're building a company, but we also get to do it with some different tools at our disposal in
Absolutely.
terms of what we can do, capabilities. So I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation that we're able to have, here as a part of this segment. So definitely looking forward to it.
Looking forward to
Comes back
it.
and checks us out and hear what new things we are able to share in our chronicles from the co-founders couch.
Amazing. All right, T. This has been amazing. I'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good. Take care, Tremaine.
All right.